Good morning, everybody. It is the 50th Coffee with Vantac. And the one thing I want to talk about, when I think of the number 50, what do you think of as an American? 50. The number 50. You know what I got to talk about on the 50th Coffee with Vantac? The 50 United States of America, which means I'm talking about you and I'm talking about me. Interesting world we're living in right now, isn't it? Whole country's locked down. Almost the whole world's locked down. Well, what do you think about it? You know, with this virus, the last thing I just saw today, statistically, they're saying that the death rate of this virus is 0.6, which would make it less than the average flu. Now, for the last few weeks, they've been talking about it's crazy and it does all these things. Where's the truth? People aren't sure, right? We don't know what the truth is because this isn't the age of information anymore. This is the age of misinformation. Well, I want to tell you where I'm at. See, I'm going to take a stand, and I'm going to stand with the President of the United States. Now, I know a lot of people may not like Donald Trump. Well, that's okay. A lot of people don't like me. But when are we all going to grow up and recognize that, you know what? None of us are perfect. Not you, not me, not the President. We make mistakes. We say things stupid sometimes. That's just a fact. But I like somebody that talks off the cuff. I do. I recognize that. I'm not afraid if somebody uses foul language or even does things that people might think are kind of foolish. Because you know what? We live in a time where we're being pushed around a lot. You know, it's interesting. If you get pushed around a lot by somebody bigger and more powerful than you, people just lash out. If there's anything I know about rich people, have you known any really rich people? I mean really, really rich. Worth millions and millions. You know the one thing really rich people do not do? All of them? They don't take any crap from anybody. You see, because they don't have to. Once you have a lot of money, you don't have to take crap from anybody. Because you don't need their business, you don't need their money, and you surely don't need their attitude. So why would a billionaire decide to be president? Well, I say it's because he loves the country. You see, I met Donald Trump once a long, long time ago. I was a young patrolman working ringside at a fight, and Donald Trump was walking around with some celebrities, and I guess I knew who he was. I'm not a big celebrity follower, but he walks up to me, he had some Tic Tacs in his hand, and he offered me one. He was kind, he was generous. He was a decent human being, and he was I don't know if he was a billionaire then or a multimillionaire, I don't know, and I didn't care and it didn't matter. All I know is he was another human being that treated me decent. So where are we in this country with the coronavirus and the country is shut down? My understanding is there's National Guardsmen stopping people at state lines. I see governors writing things that if you go visit somebody, you can't get them out of the house for 2 weeks. Business is shut down. What is it that everybody that hates Donald Trump has been trying to do? Especially those in government, including the media, which, you know, can you blame them for being sick of them? Aren't you sick of the media? Can anybody just be decent and honest? But what is the one thing they want to do? They want to shut down this president and want to make him look bad. Why is that? Why is it they want to get rid of Donald Trump? And I'm going to tell you why. It's called a lame duck term. I talk about it all the time. And what that is when a president is elected the second time, they can do anything they want. Now, sure, people can fight him, but you see, he doesn't have to pander to the voting people anymore because he can't be reelected. And what politicians are afraid of, the bad ones, is that when President Donald Trump is voted in the second time, he is going to unleash hell on corruption and evil. Yes, I believe in my president. I believe in President Donald Trump. I believe he's done what he's done because he loves the country and for no other reason. Otherwise, rich people don't need the crap he's putting up with. But I want to talk about that. Do you hate not being appreciated? I know I don't like not being appreciated. Either do you. Nobody does. Can you imagine what it would be like to be president and make a mistake? You know, maybe make a decision that didn't make everybody happy, and then people turn on you. And you're like, well, I made that decision. Maybe it wasn't the best, but I had to make a decision. You see, leadership is not about making popular decisions. It's about making decisions. But most people, everybody thinks they're a leader. They don't understand what leadership really is. He's the president of the United States. And, you know, it may sound arrogant, but whatever happens with this country is all that matters in the world right now. And that's why the world is shut down. China didn't shut down till we did, and they were dying first. You know, when President Donald Trump came out and said, listen, this is a big conspiracy by the left, I agree with it. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to step out on a limb and tell you what I think the president is going to do. Why did the president change from saying this is a hoax and go, okay, we're going to have to quarantine? I'll tell you why. Because of you and me. You see, if the president didn't do that, If the president just said, listen, this is no different than the flu, it's a trick. Every time a U.S. citizen died, the media would say, the president doesn't care. And after a while, people would say, yeah, why doesn't he care? Because people are weak. Do we not remember what it is to be an American anymore? See this, man? This is America. See behind me? This is America. See, I feel for people who are living in the city. I lived in the big city for a long time. I won't ever do it again. This is where I live. This is where I'm quarantined. You know, I'm quarantined in my 100 acres and I shoot and play with my kid and love my wife and play with the dog. It's America, man. This is America. And we have an American president. We have a president like no other. We have a president that is not a politician. And I believe that he took the crap he's taking because he loves this country. So what are you doing about it? You know, it's so embarrassing, man. I'm as pro-gun as they come. I see gun people. Well, he banned the bump stock. He doesn't believe in guns. You know what, man? You know nothing about what he's doing. I feel for the president. Do you know why? He's a billionaire that can walk into a room and say, this is what's going to happen. But now, he can't do that because, see, he's got to pander to the country. He's got to be careful what he says. He's got to make a decision because he's got to get the votes. Do you know why he's got to get the votes? Because in a lame duck term, President Donald Trump is going to expose massive corruption. He's going to indict people. He's going to do incredible things and bring this country back to where it needs to be. But you see right now there's this giant conspiracy and he's stuck in the middle. See, if he doesn't say, yeah, we need to quarantine, then every single person that dies is his fault. But now the economy is going to be crushed if something doesn't happen. So let me step out on my limb like I was talking about. I would say in the next week or two, the president, with all the brilliant people he's got working in his organization, is going to come out with statistics and say, listen, this is killing no more people than the average flu. We still suggest that if you want to stay in and you can stay in, that you do. But this is America and you're Americans. And we're not going to let this country fall apart. So we are going to lift all quarantines. We're leaving it up to you as American citizens to be smart, to think. Because let's face it, man, what is life if your family goes broke? Small businesses. If you go broke, what's the point of living? What does it sound like? Hey, it sounds like one world order. Sounds like socialism, where the government's just going to give us stuff because we can't make it anymore. People that were making it in the most booming economy ever are suddenly terrified that they're going to lose everything. How long are you going to do that? How long are you going to keep your doors closed? I want to tell you something about the power of the people. We are the people. 330 million people in this country, and we're all on lockdown. Do you really think if everybody says, you know what? On April 30th, I'm opening my doors, and so is everybody else. Do you really think that they're going to start arresting, filling the prisons with people because they want to feed their family? They're not going to. Yeah, maybe they'll make a scapegoat of a couple people, but you know what? Isn't that what being Americans all about? We all talk about being a hero, but nobody wants to do any hero stuff when it comes down to it, do they? That's what I think the president's going to do because he loves this country and he knows it's a hoax, but he's got to play this game. He's got to play this game because of people that will go, yeah, why doesn't he care? And he didn't do the quarantine and now people are dying. It's his fault. You know what, man? The cup is half empty or it's half full. Welcome to the new United States of America where everybody talks about being bad and cool and tough and don't know a damn thing about it because they don't know how to stand up for somebody who's fighting every single day to save this country. Listen. If you're a Democrat, I feel for you. Because now that I look at it, anything about being a Democrat is stupidity. It is. Anybody that looked at what the Obama administration did to this country was abysmal. Did you recognize where we were going until Donald Trump was elected? Do you know that Hillary Clinton would have put in the nail in the coffin at the end? Whatever you think of Obama, and I know everybody wants to focus on his skin color, I don't care about that. I didn't vote for him. I hope he did great things for the country. He was my president because he was the president and I live in the United States of America. Do you recognize in something around 240 years, we had this national debt and then he doubled it in 8? Where do you think that money went? Offshore accounts, maybe? Bundled into trillions of dollars in the hands of leftists to destroy this country to a one world order? because evil just expounds. You know, if you look in the Bible, it talks about the love of money, not money, but the love of money being the root of all evil, which means greed is the root of all evil. Do you not see that's what's going on? People that talk about the one world order and socialism, what's the best way to do it? To the strongest country in the world, lock it down. For what? What are the death rates? Did anybody pay attention factually to the ship where the people were quarantined on the ship? Why didn't like 30% of those people die? Nobody's even talking about statistically how many people died on that ship. Do you know why? Because people would go, well, if people were quarantined on the ship with a disease that was walking around supposedly for 2 weeks before anybody knew it was there, wouldn't that have killed massive amounts of people? Yeah, it didn't. Do you know why? Because it's like the flu. It kills sick people. It kills older people. Look at the statistics. The older you get, the more likely you are to die from it. Listen, death is evident in life. Life is a risk. You go out, get in your car, you get in a car accident, you're killed. Step off the curb, you get hit by a car. Fall down, hit your head, you die. Drive over a mountain with a four-wheeler. Life is a risk. Are we really going to stop living? Really? How many Americans are going to fall for that? How long are you going to go? How much money will you lose out of your bank account? Yeah, look at, you're going to get a couple $1,000s maybe from the federal government. What's that going to matter? If you make $10,000 a month and you need it to pay your bills and feed your family and do whatever it is you do with your money, which is not my business or anybody else's, are you going to wait till the end? Are you going to let one person step up? Or is there going to be a movement to say, we're Americans and we're going back to work? And if the government doesn't like that, well, then you're fired. How about that? Listen, support the President of the United States. He is not perfect. Either are you, either am I. This whole thing is about destroying his lame duck presidency, which is the next term when he is going to unleash hell on evil. And I stand for him, and I believe it. And if I'm proven wrong, I don't care. I'm an American. I can make my own decisions. Look at me. I live freely every day, and so should you. Stand up and be something. I'm so tired of people talking about heroism and thinking they're so damn awesome. And when it comes down to it, they just huddle in the corner and do whatever they're told. Weak, man. Weak. America, that's what it's all about, right? Independence, individualism, self-reliance. Stand for your president. Stand for your president. Let these people know that no matter what happens, we're going to vote him in. And I guarantee you, he's going to do just what I said. Do you know why? Because I believe he loves this country. And he's not going to let it fail.